In 2023, a single musician started showing up in official reports from the US Federal Reserve, not for a new album, but for actually changing the national economy. In Arizona, her tour's opening weekend generated more revenue for local businesses than the Super Bowl, held in the exact same stadium just a month earlier. In Denver, the ripple effect was estimated at $140 million. In Los Angeles, $320 million. This isn't just a successful tour, it's a nationwide economic event, projected to generate over $4.5 billion worldwide. It's a phenomenon with a name, Swiftonomics. Taylor Swift has achieved something rare in modern entertainment. She's moved beyond music stardom to become a unique economic force. A one-woman stimulus package, boosting city GDPs and rewriting the rules of the entire music industry. But this didn't happen by accident. It's the result of a deliberate, multi-decade strategy. A strategy built on three core pillars that, together, created this multi-billion-dollar machine. First, how she cultivated one of the most loyal and high-spending consumer bases in history. Second, how a high-stakes business betrayal became her single greatest strategic advantage. And finally, how she combined those elements into a tour that acts as a vertically integrated empire, capturing value at every possible step. To understand how one artist can make the Federal Reserve take notice, you have to understand how she built her army, seized control of her work, and then unleashed it. The foundation of this entire economic phenomenon isn't a product, it's a community. The power of Swiftonomics flows directly from the spending power of her fans, the Swifties, and their scale is massive. As of 2023, an estimated 1 in 4 adults in the United States identifies as a fan. This isn't a niche group. It's a huge slice of the mainstream population, concentrated in the prime spending demographics of millennials and Gen Z. But this loyalty wasn't just bought with hit songs. It was built, piece by piece, for over 15 years. Early in her career, she pioneered a new kind of fan relationship, using platforms like MySpace and Tumblr not just for promotion, but for direct, personal conversation. Her songwriting, famous for its narrative, almost diary-like style, created a sense of shared experience. Fans didn't just listen, they followed the story, hunting for clues and feeling a real connection to the artist. This creates a level of investment that goes far beyond casual listening. That deep connection turns fans into highly motivated consumers. This isn't just a fan base, it's a fan economy. And for years, that was the quiet engine of her success. But in 2019, that engine was put to the ultimate test in a fight that would unlock a whole new level of economic power. In the music industry, every song has two copyrights, one for the composition, the lyrics and melody, and one for the actual recording you hear, called the master. For most of her career, Taylor Swift wrote her songs, but her label, Big Machine Records, owned the masters for her first 6 albums. This is standard practice, but it means the label, not the artist, decides how those original recordings are used and profits most from them. In 2019, those masters were sold to a third party. For Swift, it was the ultimate loss of control over her life's work. It could have devalued her legacy. Instead, she did something radical. She announced she would re-record all 6 albums, from scratch. It was a massive gamble. She was betting the fan machine she'd spent over a decade building would follow her, that they would deliberately choose to stream the new versions, labeled Taylor's version, over the originals. The gamble didn't just pay off, it reshaped the market. In 2022, her re-recorded album, Red Taylor's Version, was streamed nearly 4 times more than the original. She turned a business crisis into a cultural event, rallying her fan base around a powerful story of artistic ownership. And in doing so, she transformed her entire back catalog into brand new products, ready to be monetized on a scale nobody saw coming. The Eras Tour is where all these pieces, the fan machine and the ownership narrative, ignite into an economic juggernaut. It's more than a concert. It's a 3-hour celebration of the very catalog she fought to reclaim. And her fans are willing to spend historic amounts to be a part of it. The average Taylor Swift fan spends an estimated $1,300 per show. Multiply that by 50,000 to 80,000 people a night, city after city, and you get what economists call a significant economic impact. This is why economists and city planners are taking notice. Her tour acts as a temporary, mobile stimulus. But the real genius here is how little of that value escapes her own ecosystem. She's built a vertically integrated system. She writes the music, she controls the recordings, she headlines the tour, and then she turned that tour into a movie. But instead of selling it to a Hollywood studio, she partnered directly with a theater chain, AMC, bypassing the middlemen and keeping a much larger share of the profits. The result? The highest-grossing concert film of all time. This tight control over her own art and business is why in October 2023, her net worth officially crossed $1 billion, a milestone reached almost entirely through her music and performances. Her cultural footprint is just as staggering. Throughout late 2023, Google searches for Taylor Swift were nearly 4 times higher than for Beyoncé, another megastar on a massive global tour. This isn't just popularity, it's market dominance, built from a direct, powerful, and wildly profitable relationship with her audience. So, what does all this mean? Has Taylor Swift created a new playbook for artistic independence? Or is she an outlier, a phenomenon too unique to be replicated? Critics rightly point out that economic impact figures can be estimates, and that this level of cultural saturation may not last forever. It's unclear if other artists could repeat this model without Swift's specific narrative and decade-long groundwork. But what is clear is that by combining a deeply loyal fan base with a bold fight for ownership, Taylor Swift has fundamentally changed the definition of success. She proved that an artist could be their own record label, their own movie studio, and their own economic engine. She's no longer just charting on Billboard. She's charting on the balance sheets of entire cities.